Chapter 1. Are you ready to play a game? Okay, are you ready to play a game? Notice as you hear that question how you almost can't help but lean in. Something within you immediately wants to know more. You didn't need to be persuaded into being curious about the idea. You felt curious all on your own. You and almost every other single human being that hears the question. That's why there's something phenomenally intriguing about playing games. Something within us is so naturally and organically attracted to them. Something within us has a desire to feel the ultimate thrill of winning. Something within us frees itself when we're given the opportunity to play. Almost like it taps into that inner child that's been screaming out for some fun and adventure for far too long now. In fact, we've found business owners and sales teams alike are so exhilarated by the idea of game playing as an opportunity to learn that we're shocked they're not at the core of almost every adult learning experience. Games and play are, after all, how we've actually always learned best. Us and every other single mammalian species on Earth. Just ask the tiger cubs play fighting at 4 months old, the chimps racing each other to the top of the tree as 1-year-olds, or your 4-year-old nephew who just learned how to beat you at checkers. Games and play aren't just a way of learning, they're the way we learn. In the Sales Game Live event room, the power of games in learning is undeniable. And the way it becomes so evident is threefold. Firstly, the feedback a game provides is instant. Games afford us the luxury of instant feedback for the sales strategy we just used. Did it work? Great. How can we refine it even further? Did it fail? Okay. Well, what do we need to change to succeed? The result is a fast tracking of sales ability and results without the wondering and waiting to see if the learnings truly landed. No more attending an event, then laboriously applying what you've learned for 6 months to see if it works. No more guessing games, wondering if your sales abilities are up to scratch to succeed in your industry. Just simple, straightforward, undeniable feedback. Some people aren't ready for that feedback. They opt for blissful ignorance instead. Others crave that form of feedback. They know the only way to grow is through discomfort and challenge. Second, there's no running from the feedback a game gives us. We can disagree with sales trainers, textbooks, and videos on the right way to close a deal until we're all blue in the face. But there's no disagreeing with the feedback a game gives us. The result is the result. If you're left with 0 chips at the end of the day, your strategy is broken. No excuses. Just an investigation into what needs to be changed moving forward for sales success, and then adapting accordingly. There's no mirror quite like the sales game. It's a mirror that doesn't just highlight our imperfections or only show us what we want to see. It shows us everything. How we deal with what we see in the mirror is how we play the game, and how we play the game determines the results we achieve. Third, the way we play games is often how we play life. We may not spend all day literally rolling dice or playing with poker chips, but the metaphor of gameplay can be found in almost every corner of professional life as we know it. Competition, scarcity of resources, unexpected curveballs and rule changes, deadlines approaching, winners and losers. Games have it all. So does life. Of course, who we are when we play games is who we are in life. How could it be any other way? Games show us how we behave when placed under pressure. They force us to make decisions based on our personal values. They reveal sides of ourselves we've become both great at expressing and hiding. The positive emotions that spill from every part of us when things go our way. The silence we sit in for hours after they don't. There's no greater platform from which to understand ourselves, others, and the world we've all found ourselves in than a well-designed game. So, are you ready to play?
This was always the case. Games, play, experiences, make-believe worlds, sport, competition, and imagination which all create opportunities for stories around fires. This is the way we, as human beings, have always enjoyed learning and exploring. Those things we can sense are there, just below the surface, waiting for an opportunity to make itself known consciously in clear daylight, or firelight in some cases. An example could be the exploration of, I wonder who is the fastest runner in the world. Then there came a thing called the Olympics. Or, imagine man on the moon. Then we built a company called NASA. Other times it's a little more practical as we learn mathematical equations by moving groups of blocks, or learning social interaction, negotiation, leading, and following by playing unicorns or army as little ones, and playing board games like Settlers of Catan, Monopoly, and Cluedo or the likes as slightly older ones. It would be fair to argue that playing games and imagining new worlds, let's call them simulations for future reference, has led to the greatest discoveries and advancements of times past. As creators of the sales game, we thought that there would be a good chance that this would continue if only we too created simulations for people to explore within, just like it had been for generation after generation before us, and most likely ahead of us too. Creating an environment for NASA-like imagination and Olympic-like competition was a worthwhile pursuit. History shows that it had a good chance of bringing the best, and possibly the worst, out in people in the most honest and authentic way possible, which we believe is all good. How we play games is how we play life, a statement we believe to be true in every sense. All we had to do was trust that the best way to learn and teach is through play, paired with the self-awareness that how a player approaches a particular game is showing them and the world around them a simulation or part simulation of their own life. We've found this to be 100% the case within the sales game, often with the players saying all the way through that they just had a massive realization about the way they approached certain aspects of their business and professional lives. Whether that be their relationship to money, the way they accept or deny responsibility, their approach to conflict, who they prefer to spend time with, whether out of comfort or discomfort, how they tackle problem solving and the result thereafter, even down to how people use food, alcohol, or tobacco when things get tough. It truly is a remarkable environment that has a fond relationship with raw honesty. We just don't think you can do that with a PowerPoint slide deck, a workbook, and a presenter. That form of education and learning had its purposes, but in the modern working generation, it's going to die a slow and painful death, purely from how often it can provide nothing more than just head knowledge with little to no action or change thereafter, with diminishing returns every minute after the knowledge has been consumed. Introduce gaming, gamification, simulations, and imaginative environments into your business and life, and we promise that you'll find out more than you could possibly imagine. Besides, it's a whole lot more fun. And that, right there, is something we all want more of.
The experience today has it's been motivating. It's propagating thought. It's provoking thought. It's a good environment where you can feel safe and deliver the content that you are emotionally attached to. As an outcome of that, I think the exchange with the people that are in the room and how the facilitators are able to allow you to engage in the group, I think everybody picks up benefits from that. The content's fantastic. It's something unique and out there, and it's certainly new and provoking to better outcomes, I think, instead of sitting there and being dead by PowerPoint.